correct me where you think it is, but I don't think there is only one future now. I think this is the great thing. It's actually with the sort of divergence of everything that we're seeing coming through, then there's a place for universal banks, there's a place for challenger banks, there's a place for everything from a banking and platform, banking as a service perspective, and kind of everything in the mix. The brilliant thing is actually predominantly from a customer's perspective that there's real choice now. So for me, the idea of not just selling your own products, and I'm sure you've got many sort of views on this one, Simon, as well. The idea of not just selling your own products, but actually aggregating and selling everything that actually might be not only within the financial services context, but much broader than that, seems very sensible to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think from a consumer's point of view, I think like the banks of the future are going to be better than the banks that you can get now. I think that's like broadly the important thing. Which actual model works out, I think it's just the details,
Yeah. What do you think, Joe?
I think I'm going back to my standard refrain about products and services, that ultimately the bank of the future will have a variety of intelligent services, or the banking service of the future will have all of these intelligent services built on top of banking products. And the fastest way to market, as we know too well, is not to go 2 years to get a banking license, but to build on someone else's platform. And so there will be a whole plethora of new intelligent services built on top of banking products. And it's an interesting question as to whether those intelligent services are within the same organization and within the same entity or not. You could see, you can see a future where Wirecard for fintechs is replaced by Clearbank or Solaris or one of those new bank platform players, where they've just got great APIs, they've got great connectivity, they've got great tech, and they just take that banking product away. We're not there now. Open banking won't give us anywhere near the APIs in order to be able to deliver those great experiences. You can't get sub-accounts, you can't get fine-grained permissions, you can't get webhooks, metadata, a whole host of things that you just won't be able to deliver. So I think in the short term, that's going to be very difficult to add to add truly great intelligent services on the top. I think longer term, it's very possible, but then you get into questions of business model, because obviously banking isn't only about the platform and the license, it's how you make money. So if this is a case of suddenly not being able to invest that whole series of account balances into something else and making money in between, then how are you going to make money on that top layer? And is that a subscription play or a marketplace or affiliate fees? So it's there's all kinds of facets, but I could see it as a potential future.
I think exactly what you say, that change is almost a sort of cultural acceptance one as much as anything there, isn't it? So, because actually when you're talking about real disruption from a business model perspective, then that's really tough, right? You're almost the letting go of some of those sort of sacred cows, and all of this is predicated on using and facilitating data in a completely different way. And I'm not so sure without that major cultural change that actually an incumbent could react in that way. Selling other people's products, if they're outside of FS, is a completely different thing from selling your mortgage, isn't it? So, do we think the incumbents can make that level of change?
I've just come from the open banking workshop, like literally before I came here, and
perfect timing.
In that room was all of the ASPSPs, the banks, and like a lot of PISPs, the payment initiators and account information service providers, and the open banking implementation entity, all like 100 and something of us sitting in a room talking about this stuff, and it was really positive. Like people are just getting on with it. And the purpose of the meeting today was to talk about the V2 API. So. Like they're aware that not everything that the trusted third parties, the TPPs, want to do is available on the first version of the API. And honestly, it was like really positive, the level of discussion between the ASPSPs saying, we understand and we accept that like PSD2 requires us to make these things available to you, and broadly, I don't think they were dragging their feet that much. The people in the room seemed really positive about let's just do it in the best possible way. And you said no webhooks, and that literally came up 10 minutes ago, and the person who brought it up, I believe, works for a bank, and they said we're going to give you this access. We don't want you to poll us continuously. We want to give you webhooks. So and then the open banking implementation entity were like, cool, okay, let's just change the version of the specification so that TPPs can get a real-time webhook. I think in this specific example it was when a person cancels their mandate for a payment. So that's better for the TPP because they know immediately that the payment's been cancelled, so that it helps their workflow. It's better for the bank because they're not getting polled continuously, and like I watched that happen in the room. It was really, really positive, and like I'm really optimistic about the process. And compared to like, from what I hear, I'm really excited at the fact that Britain's doing this. Like, the UK is just leaning so far forward into this. It's incredible it's an incredible time.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to hear people are being so positive about it, and it's it's great to see it all sort of come to fruition, really. But great question though. So maybe moving on to the next one.